You mentioned in one of your posts, organizational theories interest me only if they can be tested in practice and are improving the lives of people while moving the organization that they work with to its next stage of capabilities. And I think that's so important with so much theory is out there with so, it, without as much real world use or applications. And you just mentioned a lot of either managers or directors maybe not taking a systems thinking viewpoint. One of our one of my I think my second post was systems thinking. And can you just talk a little bit more about those two interplays, because it seems like to get to any breakthrough you really need to understand where you just were. And to understand where you just were or where you are, it really has to have a holistic systems thinking approach. And I know you have a quote that you want to talk about in a second, but so we'll end with that. But talk a little bit about the interplay of systems thinking and organizational theories from theory to practice.
Yes, systems thinking has been around for a couple of decades, and realizing that everything is a system is not very helpful in itself, because organizational systems are more like living systems. They are more akin to complex adaptive systems, which is different from the systems of machinery, right?
Right.
So organizational systems as living systems, they interact with each other, and they are in continuous change. That's why I would like to share with you a quote from a person who I consider the real most important thought leader of our times, particularly related to systems thinking, because she is upgrading or thinking about systems. So this quote will tell you about the essence of also what I am standing for. So her name is Nora Bateson, and
she's in California, right? Or she's in the United States, I think?
No, she is frequently going there, but she lives in Sweden.
Oh, okay. Because I want to say that I know her in this Twitter kind of sphere and stuff like that. Yeah, interesting.
Getting more and more popularity. She's the daughter of Gregory Bateson, who was one of the foremost systems thinkers.
Oh, okay. So it comes in the family. Okay. What's the quote?
Nora says that everything is always learning from everything else. Symathesis is a Greek word that he made up for, it means learning together.
Say it again.
Symathesis.
Okay. Symathesis. And then that's what again?
Learning together.
Okay. Symathesis, learning together. Got it.
So learning in symathesis is the perpetual processes of positioning and repositioning, calibrating, shifting, and responding to responses within context of multiple simultaneous interactions. So why is that important? Because I know that it's quite a mouthful, but in reality, when you have a relationship, a good relationship is a living, changing, moment to moment. You guys are learning together, not necessarily in the classic sense of learning, but picking up signals from each other and responding to. And of course, that is true also for not only friendships, but larger systems as well. So Nora's contribution to this new wave of systems thinking is the focus on mutual learning. in different contexts. So she created this methodology, the Worm Data Lab. I don't want to go into much details. I'm fortunate that I got in training with him and became a certified facilitator of Worm Data Labs. And I just wanted to mention, because systems thinking is not what it used to be. It's not our dad's systems thinking nowadays.
Well, right, and it kind of seems like you're alluding to more of a static, systems thinking, to then more of an adaptive, evolutionary. So then that kind of brings us into the next point of your evolutionary mentoring is a dialogical process aimed at developing your capabilities for evolutionary leadership and mentoring. So why is it seems like you're kind of going around the whole word, but it's just evolution. It's constantly evolving.
Yeah. When people ask me, what is your core belief? What is the highest, broadest framing of how you perceive the world? My answer is, well, it is, we are evolving. Nothing is permanent, and it's not only changing, but we are moving towards not a goal, because evolution doesn't have a goal. If it had, then if it achieved the goal, then it's the end.
It's done.
End of story.
End of story.
No, it doesn't have a goal, but it has a direction. And if you just consider that how life came into being in the ocean with very small, very simple living cells connecting, and then more complex organism. And here we are, human beings with our brain, which is one of the most complex phenomena in the known universe. So it's not exaggeration to say that the direction of evolution is towards more complexity, more harmony, because our body is hanging together. So there's a harmony among all these tissues and organs that are working together. And when society can learn the same, that's, I believe, the direction of our social evolution.
Right, and it's not just the individuals. It's really society as a whole is also evolving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's more difficult to see social evolution because evolution is not going in a straight line. So there are detours and there are aborted evolutionary experiments. So the whole Trump phenomenon can be a detour, but it's never by accident. What seems to be like a detour from the perspective of a longer time frame, it may, as much as I don't have a fondness for the imposter in the White House, but from a longer perspective, I can see that that was possibly the best thing that could have happened, because it evoked new responses to the neoliberal nightmare.
A shock to the system, if you will. Yeah. And so we've been talking about the importance of societal intelligence and kind of the evolution of that. How important are the commons, and maybe what are the commons?
Well, commons is a term that used in a variety of meaning. The first meaning, so when you say commons, people first they will think about the forest, the air, the water, the natural commons that doesn't belong to an owner, but the air belongs to everyone, the oceans belongs to everyone. So these are the natural commons, but commons as a socio-economic entity also means groups of people, communities, groups of people who come together to collectively develop, create, and govern the resources essential to their well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So you can think of cooperatives as kind of commons, or comes closer to what we mean by commons. But commons is not focused on ownership. It's focused on stewardship.
Mm.
So it's recognizing that what is important is not that we own the land, but we take care of the land, that we are stewarding, creating the best enabling conditions for the common good. So in terms of organizational development, commons can also be a form of organization design that is beyond what Lalo is talking in terms of self-management, because self-management is not necessarily questioning the dominant mode of production, where the producers don't define the finality of the production.
Mm-hmm.
What we are producing, why we are producing it, how are we going to allocate the surplus, the benefits of the production. All that is becoming the subject with the commons.
Mm-hmm.
So the commons is a more evolved version of organizational design than self-management.
Right, and it seems like that's an upgrade, or it seems like it's taking in more of what actually is out there. It's not just worrying about here and maybe just here, but actually, like you said, how, why. It's deeper questions.
Yes, that's true.